Well, this is very odd for me because normally when I make these videos, I'm sitting at my desk in my office being lit by an old light bulb, like a tungsten type bulb, a daylight balance bulb, that I'm bouncing into the ceiling and into the wall in front of the computer, and it bounces back into me, and that's how you get the admittedly not good lighting that you see on my other videos. But the folks at Neewer sent me a couple of LED lights, because this is what people do. They send stuff to YouTube people and they say, hey, would you please, feature these lights or review these lights, and we'll let you have the lights for free. So that's what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to give you an honest review of these lights, but I did get them for free, and it's important to me that you understand that. So my wife has this online boutique, right? And she does live things on Facebook, and she does them right here in this room in this very spot. And I light her with an old softbox and an old twisty bulb, inside the softbox is how I light her. And then when Neewer called up and said, hey, we'd like to send you a couple of LED lights, I thought, well, let's try those out. Let's see how that works. Maybe we can switch to these. They'll certainly be smaller and easier to use. So I've got them set up right now in a standard configuration cross pattern. One is right here and one is right here, and they are crossing in this direction because flat light is pretty much what you go for when you're shooting video. You're not really interested in being all moody. I mean, you can be if you're shooting something that's film related, but if you're just doing a YouTube video, you really just want it to be kind of flat lighting and well lit. And I gotta tell you, right off the bat, I'm a guy who really doesn't know anything about video lighting. I'm a photographer. They seem to be doing a pretty good job. Probably the trickiest thing I had to deal with right off the bat was my glasses and getting flare off my glasses, but then I figured out if you could just raise the lights up high enough, see if you look up, you can see in my glasses, but if I'm looking straight at the camera, you don't see it. There's some shadow inside my eyes, and I'm sure that someone who's a more experienced videographer could figure out how to get rid of that shadow, but I don't think there's a problem right here. I think this lighting is fine, and they're certainly smaller than what my wife was using in the past, and I think the quality of light's probably going to be better because I'm using 2 lights now instead of using 3 lights. All right, let's talk about the features on these lights, because there are a lot, and probably the most surprising feature for me was the app. So there's a little scan code that comes in the deal, in the paperwork, and I scan the code, and I'm going to be honest, right? Chinese company. Neewer is a Chinese company, and a lot of times when you are dealing with companies that are Chinese companies, it's hard to read the manual or things don't seem to work quite right. And I scanned the code, it downloaded the app from the Play Store, I signed up, and then immediately, the minute the app launched, it recognized both the lights immediately, added them to the app, showed me some tips on how to use them. Everything has been wonderful. This app really has just been great. And there's 3 different settings. There's CCT, HSI, and scene. And right now we're in CCT, which is color temperature. So you can set the color temperature. So you can use actual standard, if you can get that anywhere you can see it. Let me see, I can get the focus, there you go. So you can just tell it exactly what color temperature you want to set to. I've got mine set to 5400, which is what my camera is set to. But I can change that if I want to, but only one light at a time. So I'm changing, as you can see, I'm changing one of the lights. Now one of the lights is at 3700, and now I'll go back to 5400. It's just a slider, really easy to do. You can also adjust the brightness. So I'll turn down this light over here. Turn it back up, there you go, down, up. So if you want to have a little bit more of a, more of a portrait style lighting, there you go. You can go with something like that. And it's very simple to switch to the other light, if I want to switch to the other light and change that one. Good. We go back up to full on that one. Now we're back at full on both of them. So that's a great little feature, right? Very handy if you're using these lights and maybe you've got them mounted up high on a ceiling and you don't want to have to climb up there and change the color temperature. There's dials and knobs on the back that allow you to do everything that the app can do, but I can't imagine why you would really need to use those dials. I actually think the app is easier, which is rare. Usually dials and knobs are easier. right? But actually I think the app is easier because you have to really turn the knob to turn it up. Whereas with the app, you just slide your thumb and you're in good shape. It also has HSI, and you can see my color just changed because you can just pick whatever color you want. Move this around and pick any color and it'll switch to that color for you. And if I go back to CCT, it's going to go back to my original settings. So it keeps these things separate. So you can have it set up for normal, and then you can kick it over to the other mode and experiment and do whatever you want to do with it, and then you go right back to where you were before. And it also has scene, and scene, as you can guess, is for the people who might buy a light like this because maybe they're doing parties or they're a disc jockey or something along those lines, or maybe, say in this instance right here, you're doing a film and you need the look of a police car sitting off the camera. I'm sorry, officer. Yes, I'm sorry. I'll be finished in just a second. You can set up a scene, and there's all kinds of different scenes in here, flashes and different, as you can see, lights are going through different settings, etc., etc., etc. You can have it remember the scenes for you, so you can easily bring those scenes back up. And this is not meant to be an in-depth review of all of the things that the lights can do. What I really want to do was just talk about, you know, if you're looking for a couple of video lights to use for making, say, YouTube videos or something else for your channel, say you're a photographer, or maybe you want to light your kid's birthday party when you're filming your birthday party, can these lights do the job? So far, yeah, I'm absolutely impressed with these lights. Now, I've got them both turned up to full, and I've got my ISO at 400, my aperture is at 3.6, my shutter speed is at 60. So that's what you're seeing right now. The lights are, I would say, 5 to 6 feet from me, here and here, crossing here, and this is the light that I get. Super bright? No. I worked on many studio sets back in my career doing radio and TV and stuff like that, and these are not nearly as bright as those lights would be. The lights on a TV set are bigger and there's a lot more of them, but that's not what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be small and portable and easy to move around and use, and they are easy to move around and use. All right, now we're back in the office, sitting at the desk where I always make my videos, and before I continue, I thought it might be fun to actually use one of those LED panels to light me here and see if it's different than what I use now. So here's what I use now. This is old school, right? Look at, right? And I'm going to turn it off so I can show you. Right? What I do, I have this put on top of a Neewer tripod. I bought this from Neewer a while back. And I set it right here on my desk, and I point it at the wall in front of me and a little off to one side. And you can see it gives me really good light. It gives me directional light. See how the light's coming in from this side of my face, and it goes to a little shadow over here. And then I can just turn it if I want to go straight in like this and flatten it out a little bit. Turn it this way and give me a little directional light. It's worked out really well for me, and I just take it and I keep it underneath the desk. And then whenever I have to do a video or I have to be on a conference call, I just pull it out and set it on the desk, turn it on, and bam, I go to town. So let's now replace this with one of the newer LED Pro 660s and see what that looks like. So now I have replaced my usual light with the LED light, and here we go, bring it over so you can see it. There it is, all right? And I just got it setting here. And I've got it about 65% power. We can go a little brighter. And my camera's going to try and adjust automatically if I go bright. Whoops, that was the color, sorry. My camera's going to try and adjust automatically if I go brighter, but it's not going to do a good job. You can see it's really bright there. So I'm going to turn it down. Well, let's say right about there. That's probably a good... Okay, that's pretty good. And one of the cool things is it's got these barn doors. So you can just take this barn door here, the one that's closest to me, and I can close it and watch. See, now the light's hitting that wall and coming straight into me. I'm not getting any spill light because I've closed this barn door. So I'm not getting any spill light to my face, and as you can see, I'm getting a much more directional look. Or I can just open it back up. Whoops, we're at 2 hands. There you go. Right, so I can turn it. Ooh, that's too much. Right about there. Yeah, I think this is going to be my new light. I say this is going to be my new light, except that when I was bringing them upstairs to make this video, I keep looking at myself on the screen because I'm looking at the light instead of looking at you. When I was bringing them upstairs to make this video, my wife was like, "Where are you taking those lights?" And I said, "Well, I'm in my office. I have to talk about them some more." And she's like, "Are you going to bring them back? Because I have to go live on my channel tomorrow." So she has just seen the one video that I just made of you, and she's already decided that she wants to start using these lights instead of the light that she's been using downstairs. So that pretty much tells you everything you need to know about this particular light. But it's definitely smaller and easier. So if I can get away with keeping this up here, this is going to be my new light that I use here in my office. All right, let's grab it. Hang on a second. Let's grab this baby and talk about it a little bit so you can see everything that comes with it. Here's the back. It's all metal construction. This is plastic. This is metal. The barn doors are metal, which is great. It's got 2 slots for batteries. I don't know how much the batteries cost. I will hopefully find out what they cost and have a link up here, a little picture. If you're not seeing a picture right now of what these batteries cost, it's because I couldn't find them. Here's the 2 knobs on the back. And everything that I showed you earlier, you can do with these 2 knobs as well. You can just cycle through each of the settings and change it however you want to change it. The front has got barn doors that will close all the way down if you want them to, or open up to this bit. And there's a nice little diffuser in here. See this? You can take this out if you want to, but can't imagine why you would ever want to take it out. There's a nice little diffuser that's in here. To get really soft light with these, you would really want some sort of a softbox or some sort of reflection. Like we're getting soft light right now. And the reason is because we're reflecting off a wall. So if you were going to buy these, if I was going to use them to light me here, well, I will use them to light me here all the time. What I would do is what you're seeing right now. I would bounce them off a wall so I get a nice broad light source like this. But if I was using them, say downstairs all the time, although the light was good and quick, if I really wanted good light, what I would probably do is bounce them into a umbrella or a shoot-through umbrella. Get a big shoot-through umbrella, mount it on the pole, shoot right through that umbrella, and then you would get a broader and softer light. And you can pick up an umbrella for next to nothing. And these are very inexpensive as well. I got to tell you, I'm much more impressed by them than I thought I would be. Not that I thought that they would be bad or that they, or anything along those lines, but I really wasn't expecting the app to work so well and so quickly. I didn't think that you would just be able to hook it up just like that and immediately have it go to work for you. It really did a good job, and it was quick and it was easy, and they're affordable. And yeah, I endorse these lights. If you're looking for a couple of panels to start using for your Zoom calls, maybe you're still Zooming with clients, or maybe you're starting your own YouTube channel and you just need some lighting, I think this is a good call. I've been buying more and more products from this company over the years. I've bought several stands from them over the years. I bought a couple of soft boxes over the years, and I've always liked what they've produced. It's always been good. They're a comer, I think, in the business. They're really starting to get some traction. My reflectors that I use on location when I do headshots are Neewer reflectors. And as far as I know, it's pronounced Neewer, by the way. I looked it up and I found a video on YouTube where someone who says it's pronounced Neewer, and it doesn't mean anything in Chinese. They just picked that name because they want it to sound like it's Western. That's what the video said. So yeah, I like them. The Neewer Pro 660s. Check them out. Did I just say that right? Yep. The 660 PRC Neewer video lights. Yeah, I think they're a good buy. I'll see you next time.